Did Cern hint at their agenda in a new video to birth the abyss on Earth and release the creatures who reside there, the NEPHILIM? Cern has a history of using art and film to convey their plans. One of these films was called Symmetry, which appeared to depict the opening of a portal. Another film was recently aired as a part of Cern's art exhibit called Collide. This is an annual exhibition of artists who bring together art and science. One such piece that aired was a short video called Black Rain. Black Rain is an extremely unusual piece, and I will play a clip for you. Based on the author's notes, it's supposed to be a compilation showing the stars on the horizon, the orbit of the planets, and celestial events like CMEs. As we have been told, Cern is attempting to recreate the Big Bang, the first moments of the creation, to mimic what the universe might have looked like seconds after the event happened. Viewers of Black Rain are made to feel as though they're falling through darkness, and the light is above them, but they can't quite get to it. In one scene, this light seems to descend through an eye-shaped portal, and this is followed by a huge coronal mass ejection, one that would inevitably devastate the Earth with radiation. So what is Black Rain, and what is the agenda behind it? Why is Cern showing this video at their main campus? Black rain is a substance found in the abyss, sometimes called black goo. Hollywood portrays this substance in some of their films. For example, the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Lady Gaga's commercial for her perfume illustrate what black rain is, where it comes from, and what purpose it serves. It's an agent of infection. A novel called Black Rain portrays the damaging effects this substance has on the human body. The novel tells the story of a girl who cannot find a suitor because she's been exposed to the black rain, following World War II bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. She is sick from the exposure. She will never recover from it. She finds her one objective, to find a husband, impossible to accomplish. Nobody wants her because she's been contaminated. The term black rain appears to have been coined during World War II to describe people in Japan who were exposed to radiation. When a nuclear crisis happens, the rain becomes contaminated with radioactive particulate that gets into the air. This is known as black rain. It can be even more lethal because it spreads, transported to other locations that were previously unaffected by any type of radioactive isotopes. These isotopes cause mutations in the human body on a physical level and can manipulate the genome. Radioactive damage can be swift and extraordinarily lethal. It can also cause unusual changes in species at a cellular level over time, and these mutations can then be passed to offspring. As you can see, the effects of radiation damage can contaminate every generation of the human race that follows a nuclear event. Long before the invention of these weapons, there was a nuclear detonation that happened in the Garden of Eden. The DNA of humans was first damaged by a fruit that was laced with something. The serpent suggested that Eve should eat the fruit of the tree, and she did. The fruit acted like a radioactive isotope to her body, having ravaging effects on her and her husband. Just one taste of the apple, and Eve's DNA would begin to pollute, to suffer, to degrade. What was in this apple that was so tantalizing, too good to resist? It contained knowledge and secrets of a world that Adam and Eve were not supposed to know about. They ingested a slice of the abyss. The apple was a stunningly advanced apparatus that the serpent used to bring about the downfall of humanity, to create an abyss inside of people's bodies. It looked innocent to Eve, but it was not. In Disney's Snow White, we see an apple dipped into a substance, black rain or black goo, and it turns the flesh of the apple black. Snow White whose name indicates that she was blemish-free, received the black goo and ate from it. It contaminated her like it did Eve in the garden. What both of these characters ate was something that would eventually kill them. Interestingly, Lady Gaga also portrayed Black Rain in a commercial for her perfume called Fame. You'll notice her perfume is black, but she boasts that it goes on clear and doesn't have any residue. However, in her promotion, we see a very different story. Lady Gaga enters into the abyss through a portal. There is black rain all over the place, and she begins to bathe in it, and becomes completely covered in it by the end of the commercial. It doesn't dry clear. It contaminates her entire flesh. She emerges from the pit of black rain with a crown on her head. Interestingly enough, women are often portrayed in film as the recipients of the black rain or goo. Could this be because Eve was the first person in history to be contaminated, and she led her husband to receiving this contamination as well? Black rain is the substance of the abyss. Cern celebrated this in their art exhibit called Collide. So is a collision coming? A collision of two worlds? We are told in scripture and the apocryphal literature that something will come out from inside the earth during the end times. The abyss will be opened. This is confirmed in Revelation and reinforced in the book of Enoch. Something was buried deep inside the earth. Revelation 9 tells us that locusts with human faces will be released upon the earth, and they will torment those who do not have the seal of God upon their foreheads. The king of the bottomless pit will come out as well, and his name will be Abaddon. Enoch reinforces the idea of a pit or an abyss, a place where a group of NEPHILIM were imprisoned until they will be let go for the purpose of their own judgment. Their release will happen in the end times. Their penalty will be brought by the Elohim because they tried to infect humanity by having sexual relations with women. DNA infection, manipulation of the human genome, has truly been one of the chief ambitions of this other realm since the birth of the human one. These creatures will use any means necessary to contaminate the human flesh and the offspring of humanity. They want to disrupt human life at its most fundamental level. Why? Because humanity was created in the image of the Elohim. No animal or creature, including the Benai Elohim or the sons of God, can claim that they were created in his image. Only humanity is able to claim this. Did Cern hint at their plans with the unveiling of this video called Black Rain, the birth of the abyss upon the earth?